today culminates what was a tough week. I rewind to what it felt like last Sunday in Boston, and you're trying to finish a series up there in tough conditions, good team. You sit in that airport and leave at 8:30, and you get to Charlotte, and you roll in this parking lot at about 1:30, 1:45. You unload everything in the locker room. I bet these guys didn't get to bed until 3:30 or 4 Monday morning. You have the Florida game Tuesday night. You know what that's about. And then to respond on a Thursday series, this team has responded better than any team I've been around. They really have, to the environment here, some of the challenges that we faced in innings, in tough losses. That's what stands out to me the most about walking in today after this game, is just their response to everything that's been thrown at them. And a lot of it's good, but you have to respond to good stuff positively to stack some good things. And I was so excited for our fans to get to see 4 games like this. I think that was the most people that have ever been a 3-game series in program history at this stadium. And you want to deliver. Like, everybody came out for this, and more would have been here if we could have accommodated, and our guys delivered. Dorsey was okay today. It wasn't sharp enough. He did a good job. Abraham got the big punch out, and we needed him to go a little further, but he got Cuvée, he got the breaking ball down and got him, and Army came in and extended it, and he was good, in control of the game. And then it just seemed like we needed to do something different there at the very end, and Holtz banged the breaking ball in, and luckily Brad in the guy's position, Lodis, right where he needed to be with that pitch, and Lodis made a nice play. Cam stood out offensively in the base running where he tagged up on the ball, tips it to left center field. He had enough sense to hang and then backtrack and tag and go. That was not an easy base running play, really good. His defense was nice today, some tricky little plays at third base. Lodis jumps and grabs the ball, the line drive, and then the line drive to end it. The 4-6-3 double play was probably a game-changing moment defensively. Fisher backhanded that ball up the middle, and we turned it. The at-bats were good. It wasn't off the charts at-bats. Their pitching is good. They've got a variety, and they've got depth. So it's hard to think you're going to sit there and bang away all day. Dingus adding the 6th run, got a fastball away. And the field, it was carrying a little bit to right. It was not to left or center field. So he got that one out away from him and drove it. So that was a big moment. The intensity, all the stuff going on in the game, like you guys saw it. We just decided as coaches, there's already enough to deal with. Let's just not shake hands out of the reality of these are young men that are excited and amped up, and we don't want to have to deal with any issues in the middle of that field after the game. So that was just a mutual decision that JD and I made that was the right thing. It wasn't one-sided. It just seemed like, let's just go our separate ways and we'll play them again down the road. But I'm just pleased with the response of the players overall. Not today. I'm not looking at this today. I'm reflecting on the last couple of weeks in the response.
Marco didn't seem to stare it down. What were they mad at?
Unfortunately, in our sport right now, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's extracurricular within the game. I don't know exactly what happened, but this had been going on. I think it was brewing all weekend, and I'm not sure I was even aware of it. And I don't know what was said as he rounded the bases. But unfortunately, our sport right now is a little bit too engaged in things that don't really reflect how the game should be played and some of the unsportsmanlike stuff. I'm not saying it was us, them. I'm just talking big picture. And we need to try to contain this. It's hard enough to play the game when all your attention's on what you're trying to do. I don't like things to get out of control where there's so much going on that the game becomes almost a secondary part of the event. So we came out on the good side of it. I didn't like how things escalated there.
That home run, though, after the at-bat he had before, which might have been his worst swing of the entire season, the ball that was up and out, and it was just a little over-aggressive. Again, you talk about response.
Yeah.
The response for him the next time he's in the batter's box, and that just seems to be what this team is kind of about.
Yes, and it's interesting. I talked to him. I said, look, strike 2 can't lead to a poor decision on the next pitch, which I thought it did in his at-bat before. And whatever happened in that at-bat can't really linger into your next at-bat or your defense. For him, it's only the at-bat today as the DH. But that was huge. That was huge. And it was 5-3, but you're riding on every pitch. And you guys could feel it too. Like that thing never felt safe or secure, even when Holt threw the last pitch, clearly, if that thing gets through there. So yes, his response was great, and it matches what we talk about with the team. Like, we've responded as a team.
What is it about the group that allows them to respond? Is it the leaders of the group, or just the approach of the day-to-day process that they take?
I was talking to my wife about that last night, and it's hard to explain. If I had to speak on how a team responds, I'm not sure I could give a 40-minute presentation on how to teach a team to respond. I think it starts with talented players. Like, if you're really talented, it gives you a better chance to walk out there and have success. And if you're focused, that adds to it. Regardless of how good it's going or how bad it's going, you have to play the games on both ends of that spectrum. We have a talented group, and we have a focused group. And I think just the conveyor belt of that coming at you produces what appears to be some magical potion response. It's just their dedication, their physical talent, and their focus that gives you repetitive chances to do something, whether you're up, down, tied. They just are able to do it because they're good players that are focused, and they stick with it.
You talked about coming into the weekend, the challenges being down. Cam and Connor was going to present in terms of what you needed from the bullpen. I guess, what can you say about what it seemed like everybody pretty much filled their role in certain moments?
Again, a great response. And you're trying, Mike and I spent hours trying to figure out how to manage the personnel, how we think they are best suited to maybe start a game. Are they okay coming in with traffic? Are they better off in clean innings? Are there guys on, they had some reverse splits on their team, so you were conscious of, and you can't always do it, but you're trying to be conscious of the best matchup for the individual, and that doesn't always mean left-handed pitcher versus left-handed hitter. So there's a lot that goes into it. Pitch execution and their response to whatever role we give them is the key to the whole thing. And the guys did it. Pitch execution trumps everything. You go out there and execute pitches with your good stuff, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And I thought for the most part, we did it. It wasn't flawless. It wasn't completely clean, but it was absolutely good enough to give the team a chance.
Did you know how long it had been since y'all had swept Florida and Miami in the same
I have
season?
absolutely no idea.
You still don't?
No idea.
1960.
Was it really? Wow. No, it's good. Like, we're playing good baseball, and that says a lot about it. This is not an easy thing to do. This week is not easy. You can go back as far as you want. It's not easy to stack like this. And when I say respond, you have to respond every single day. And the response and the execution of the performance, that may lead you to that, which I had no earthly idea. I'm worried about pitch by pitch performance and execution, and us doing the best job we can to put them in position.
Y'all have had a crazy schedule recently, like you talked about a little. Series start on Saturday, 2 on Thursdays. I think the next 4 are supposed to be weather permitting Friday through Sunday. How excited are you for that stability?
I'm thrilled. Are you sure you're right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because I don't know. The Thursday's neat. Like, it gives you a chance to be on an island on TV. It does. I get it. It's tricky. So there are some positives to it, but there are also some things that make it really interesting when you're trying to pull guys out front, like pitching wise. And you're in some of these games last weekend, and in the back of your mind, you're watching that pitch count, and you know that this thing's going to have to be drugged to you by another day, and it starts to factor in. So it is tricky on us, and it's tricky on the guys. I don't think our position players were completely stunned by it, but the pitchers, you have to manage those arms. And now tonight and tomorrow are great, and you get to recover for Tuesday, but it clearly puts a lot of strain on you when you have to squeeze them together.
Coach, you guys have been really good offensively this year, but this weekend the bottom 2/3 of the lineup was 11 for 60, I believe. Do you think that would be a potential problem moving forward, or do you think this is just like a blip in the radar?
I think they had really good pitching. It's tough. And the good thing about the lineup is there's probably been weekends where the bottom third or the middle have helped. So there's always going to be some times when not all 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 guys that are involved are clicking. It's just the way it is. So the neat thing about that, you're right. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all helped in some capacity. It may not have been strictly the base hit, but there were some good at bats, and you just have to compete through it. It's hard if all 9 of those guys are absolutely on point. That would be the first in the history of the sport. Okay, so you gotta handle some of the things, and sometimes it might be the top, and sometimes it might be the middle. But when you have enough pieces, sometimes you can still overcome it and score some runs somehow.
Okay.
Enjoy your